And I believe we are live. Hello, everybody on Facebook. I'm here with Alice Keeler, Pam Hernandez, and Mike Tolson from Microsoft. So what we're going to be doing over the next few minutes is sharing a super awesome project between Q and Microsoft that's going to be taking place over the next, I think, 17 weeks. It's a global event, and we are going to be working with some of the coolest educators all over the planet. Alice, who are some of the people that are going to be in this project that folks might want to hear from and learn with?
Well, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to bring office hours and webinars and master classes. And this week we have Karen Janowski, Naomi Harm, Pernille Rip, Adam Grocott, Kathy Gronowski, Julene Reed, Holly Clark, and Matt Miller, and myself coming to you with great tips on how to use Microsoft products and just great teaching.
And that's just this week. Who are a couple of your favorites, Mike?
Well, Alice mentioned a couple already. So Kathy Krasnowski is amazing. Ken Shelton's going to be coming, which is awesome. I'm a fan of Pernille Rip. I'm going to probably maybe drop in on one of her sessions because I'm into reading and inclusion. And another person that Alice mentioned is Karen Janowski, who's one of the best accessibility experts in the world. But then we've got some international folks. So Stephen Eustace from Ireland. We got Mark Anderson from the UK. We've got Pip Cleaves from Australia. So we're really trying to circle the globe and bring lots of people in.
And Pam, who are some of the Q folks that people might want to be aware of? Who are some of the people you'd like to give a little shout out to?
Oh, we've got all kinds of Q folks, but I got to tell you, I think we're going to give a lot of love to Pernille Rip here today because she made the top of my list right away. And this is a shout out to Microsoft as well, because this partnership is focusing on pedagogy and content and what's right in education right now. And Pernille has this tremendous focus on literacy, and she's bringing the mom hat, you know, what's going on right now and what's real, as well as the teacher hat. The Aussie flavor, Brett Salakis. You just got to love the guy. He lights it up every single time. And again, just dialed into what's right and good in education. More powerful voices from Sarah Thomas. And finally, I'm going to have to plus one Mike again with Ken Shelton. He calls it as it is when we talk about equity and content, particularly, you know, what are we giving our students to access in terms of materials in their classroom? And he has this conversation in the best of ways that calls it like it is, but also makes it a really safe space to dive in deep.
I'm just going to point out that none of you mentioned me. I'm just going to say that. So I see where I'm at. But I'm super excited.
Holly Clark too. I forgot Holly Clark.
And Holly Clark, she's a thing, right? That's
Carl
a pretty good.
Hooker is going to be in there. Yeah.
So it's quite a cast of characters. I'm going to be doing some Edu protocols in the Microsoft venue. So like thin slides, cyber sandwich, all the things people love about Edu protocols. Turns out they work great in a Microsoft platform. So I'm super excited to be sharing things like that as well. Alice, you mentioned the types of sessions. Do you want to go back through that one more time a little slower? Not that you were going too fast, but there's a lot going on in there for people.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a couple of things going. We want to bring you access to all of these great people, and we didn't even give the whole list. We're talking Q people. We've got Rushton Hurley and Ramsey Musalam. Like, you can't even list all these awesome people that you want to have an opportunity to just have a conversation with them. So one of the key components to the project is office hours, and we have around 10 office hours a week to give you an opportunity to just drop in. It's not going to be presentation slides. It's you be able to ask a question and pick the brains of some of the coolest teachers out there.
So you could literally say, hey, I want to have office hours with 5 of my best teacher friends or my staff from my school, and just hang out with Pernille or Holly or Matt Miller or even me if you can remember that I'm going to be around. That's awesome. That
Mark!
So office hours is one time.
There's so much of a limit for you, John. Like the rooms will fill up so fast, people have to go other places.
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking forward to hanging out with Mark Anderson.
So office hours, super informal, kind of drop in and what you need, right? So not a session, time to hang out. So then what other kinds of sessions do we have?
You're going to have to show up if you want to get access to these really awesome people. And then the other ones, we're doing webinars or sessions. They're hour-long of a variety of topics. I'm, of course, doing some on spreadsheets. Holly Clark this week and is doing HyperDocs, and she's got, I believe she's got the HyperDocs girls showing up. That's the rumor.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, for those. And those will be recorded and archived for later. We do have a global audience, so we got some of this stuff going on at 6 a.m. California time, but they will be recorded and put on the q.org/Microsoft.
And it'll be on YouTube for anyone to watch as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
YouTube and embedded at q.org/Microsoft.
So that's the URL.
This is a magical partnership for sure.
Yeah, q.org/Microsoft to find all this stuff and start signing up for these free sessions. And then Alice, I'm going to test you now. We've been working on master classes for 2 weeks. Can you tell me what a master class is? This is your assessment.
I'm on the spot. So a master class is just an opportunity to really go deeper. So it's a set of 3 where you're getting some sort of a template or something that you can try to go deeper with Pernille Ripp and Holly Clark and Ken Shelton on their topics is something that you can go try and then come back and do a share out and then build on what you have. So you've got 3 times that it keeps ramping up your template so that you're really a master at the end of these 3 weeks. How'd I do?
You got an A. That's not a heart. That's an A. And that's the whole idea of the Q Masterclass is that we give you an activity, you go do it, you get feedback from me or Alice or Ken, and you're getting better, and then you try another thing, and then you try another thing. So by the end, it's gradual release. You are now able to do the thing on your own, and I'm super excited about that. One more time for the folks who are not as audio-centric, q.org/Microsoft. There's sessions for tomorrow ready to go right now, and this thing is going to run 14 weeks altogether. We're going to take a little break in July, but it's 14 total run weeks. One more cool thing from Pam, and then I'll throw it to Mike and Alice, and we'll get back to work scheduling sessions.
All right. Do you just want me to make up one more cool thing, or
just anything that's just popping right now for you, Pam?
Hey, I will tell you what's popping for me right now is that a lot of times we focus just on, like a corporation or a tool, but we've been having fantastic conversations in the background with Mike and Kathy from Microsoft. And these conversations have all been focused on how are we serving students, how are we serving teachers right now? And to sit down with a corporation and have that perspective and that genuine of a conversation where we want to bring pedagogy for free to the education community. We want to bring equity conversations for free to the education community. To have that kind of support from a company, Mike, thank you, Microsoft, thank you, is tremendous. It's always important, but now more than ever.
And Mike, one more big thing from you as we wrap up.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if I would call it a big thing, but it's an important thing. And I've talked to Alice about this. We've been chatting over the weeks and months. And right now with distance learning and remote learning, the hunger for information and the hunger for people to learn and have to really adapt to new things quickly it's off the charts. I've never seen anything like it. And so part of the goal here is to provide the community with a bunch of free PD, free learning, free getting started. Like, how do I consume and digest all these things I'm being asked to do in a really fast and different way. And so that's the thing where I think this would be hugely helpful for all these people. There's a lot of people around the world who are brand new to this. You and Alice and Pam, myself have been doing this for a while. There's a lot of people who've been doing it for a month. And so if we can provide ability for them to start simple, maybe get to a master's class, maybe hang out with Alice and Holly and Ken, whoever, we think that's great for the community of educators.
Well, and Mike, this is how smart I am, and I think you'll appreciate this. I know that Alice always gets the last word, so I'm going to let her go last. So you just set me up perfectly for this. I totally agree with you, Mike. I think if you look at the number of teachers that could run a team, right, in February versus what you're looking at now, it's easily 3 or 4 times more. And now we're into this really cool period right now where we're winding school down. People have their capacity back a little bit. We can get them ready for the fall so that when we do go back to face-to-face, or if we're in hybrid in the fall, their toolkit is much deeper and richer. And this is like, I think Q's used this phrase before. This is like pajama PD. Watch when you're in the mood,
Yes.
right? Oh, I'm going to watch all of Ken's this Saturday. Great. Have your own little binge fest. And people can access some of the best pedagogical thinkers, right? Like being able to hang out with Pernille and talk about what's digital literacy look like? What's a love of learning look like? And how can I mesh those with some of the best technical tools in the world? I think we are in a super cool window right here. It's almost like a hurricane. We went through the one side. We're kind of seeing an opening on our educational calendars. And then we know somewhere around September, we're going back in. And so coming back into that with easy to use, free, powerful tools is a huge benefit to everybody. And Alice, you get the last one.
If you haven't been using Microsoft Teams and Slides Designer in PowerPoint, you are missing out. They have been adding so many, like, it's new features all of the time. So even if you think you know Microsoft tools and how they can benefit kids in the classroom, it's off the charts, and more is coming. And so we're going to be here to support you in all of that so you can really rock it in your classroom.
Yep. So it's
Fantastic.
EdTech in Context. It's the global EdTech Academy, q.org/Microsoft. We've got all of the Tuesday sessions in right now. Pernille's going to have space tomorrow. Am I right with this?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you can jump in now and start signing up. And then we'll be adding more sessions and more options as we go through the week. We're super duper excited.
Hey, I think we have some hashtags too. So if we're out on social media.
Well, hashtag Microsoft EDU. We're going to see a lot there. Hashtag we are Q, because we are. And then the hashtag for the event right now is hashtag GETA, Global EdTech Academy. Global EdTech Academy, GETA. And we'll triple hashtag those so you can get any of those. Anytime you see one, you're going to see the other two.
Yep. All right, so just real quick, we've got Karen Janowski doing Word 365 tips. Naomi's doing Microsoft Word Part 1. Pernille Rip with Authentic Choice and Voice. Adam Grocott with Forms and Quizzes. Kathy Karnowski doing some Flipgrid, which you know you want. And we have Office Hours with Jolene, all happening tomorrow, Tuesday, May 19th, which is my husband's birthday. So shout out to you, honey.
Happy birthday.
And that's just day one, and it's going to keep cranking for 14 weeks. And we're going to have sessions on the weekends in case people want to have one of their favorite beverages and enjoy PD.
Because that's something everybody deserves right now, right? It's like chill and do it in your own time, in your pajamas with a cocktail.
Love it. That's a perfect place to stop. Any last words? Anybody else? Awesome.
Super.
Okay.
Great.
Looking